If you clicked on this video, your parents are probably in the same situation that a lot of seniors are in today. They've been paying life insurance premiums for decades, but now those monthly payments are becoming impossible to manage. And you're watching them stress about whether to keep paying or let the policy lapse and lose everything. What I'm about to share, how this family saved over $45,000, and most people have no idea this option even exists. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm 𝐂𝐚𝐬𝐲𝐶L. And before I became a life settlement broker, I was just like probably your parents. And so was my oldest daughter, probably just like you. An adult child watching me struggle with a financial decision that seemed impossible. She even paid a few of those darn high premiums, especially when I was scraping and scrapping, and I scrapped with a capital S too. But let me tell you this story. There was a client that I'm just going to call Dan. Dan had been paying $520 a month for his life insurance policy for 28 years, y'all. At 73, that payment was eating up almost a quarter of his Social Security check. His wife was cutting coupons. They were skipping out dinners that they were accustomed to doing. And their caring daughter, Susan, was like my daughter. She was concerned. Susan could see the stress on both of her parents' faces every month when that bill came due. Now, Dan, he kept saying, I can't let this policy lapse. I put too much money into it. And I get it. But he also couldn't keep draining their retirement savings to pay for it either, because their savings would be gone way too soon. In other words, he knew that if he kept paying those high premiums, their savings would not outlive them. It just wouldn't. Now, maybe this sounds familiar to you. Your parents are facing what feels like an impossible choice. There are three options that they know of. In fact, everybody pretty much know what these three options are. Option one, you keep paying the premiums they can't really afford and watch their quality of life just suffer month after month after month after month. Option two, reduce the coverage, which still leaves them with payments that they probably won't be able to afford still, and less protection for the family members that they was leaving the policy for. Option three, let the policy lapse, lose all those years of payments, and walk away with basically nothing, or surrender it back to the insurance company for a measly a few $1,000s, if they even have any cash value left. Because typically by this time of struggling, the cash value has diminished because they've been using it to pay the monthly premiums. Most likely, that's what I did. That's what happened. This family spent weeks going over their finances, trying to figure out which terrible option was the least terrible. That's when their daughter Susan, being from the Gen X generation, she started researching some alternatives. And what she discovered changed everything. But guess what? She found out by going down a rabbit hole, there was a fourth option that nobody had ever mentioned to them. Not their insurance agent, not their financial advisor, nobody. See, y'all, rabbit holes can sometimes be a good thing. It can. There are companies that will actually buy your parents' life insurance. It really is. Not the cash surrender value that the insurance company offers. Not that. But significantly more money. Significantly more. It's called a life settlement. Now, here's what happened with Susan's dad. This is what happened with his policy. The insurance company's cash surrender value, it was $23,000. That's what he would have gotten if he just canceled the policy after 28 years of payments and just said, forget it. The life settlement company paid him $68,000. That's almost 3 times more money, y'all. Do the math. $68,000 is going to always be way more than $23,000. I'm just saying. And he never had to make another premium payment. Talking about stress relief. Oh my goodness. Now, you're probably thinking what I even thought before I knew better. Even as an insurance agent, this is what I thought. If this is legitimate, why haven't I heard about it? Well, think about it. Insurance companies make money when people keep paying premiums for as long as possible. They're not exactly motivated to tell you about options that stop those monthly payments now. But the main reason is that life settlements, let me tell you what happens. Life settlements introduce an element of uncertainty into the insurance company's long-term financial planning. making it harder for insurance companies to predict the expected rate of returns and payouts for them. It's all about the Benjamins, always have been, all about investments and profits. And insurance agents, they earn commission on active policy. No active policy, no commission check. Get it? I'm not saying someone was trying to deceive them, y'all, but that's definitely not a lot of incentive for the traditional insurance world to educate families about life settlements, and that's just a crying shame. It's a crying shame. But the actual process is really much simpler than this family expected. Even more simpler than I expected as an insurance agent, especially during that time of my career. I knew about viaticals, and I knew those type of settlements are for people who has less than 24 months to live, bless their hearts. But I could have benefited from a life settlement, y'all, had I known about it. It didn't work out for me because I let my big policy go. Once the cash value was depleted for me paying those premiums every month, it kept going down until there wasn't nothing. Things did work out for Susan and her parents, though. They worked with a life settlement broker, which is what I do now, by the way, and within about 60 days, Dan had a check for $68,000. $68,000, y'all. $68,000. Oh my goodness. But here's what that money really meant to their family. Susan said her daddy could stop worrying about those monthly payments, and her mom didn't have to choose between groceries and insurance. They can go out to eat when they wanted to. They took a cruise, she said, that they had been talking about for years. We seniors, we love our cruises and all, and inclusive resorts is my thing. But anyway, Susan said her dad needed some medical procedures a year later, and they had money in the bank instead of just stressing about how to pay for it. Because Medicare don't pay for everything now. It really don't. Now, you know what Susan said? What she said was most importantly was that she said, my parents got to enjoy some of their money while they're still here instead of us inheriting it later. And she said, and honestly, she said, seeing them relax and stop stressing about money every month, she said that was worth more than any inheritance to her. Okay? And I can relate to that. Now, I do need to be clear about something. Life settlements aren't right for every family now. If your parents are in great health and really want to leave the full death benefit to you, keeping the policy might make sense now. But if they're struggling with payments, or if you'd rather see them enjoy some of that money right now instead of inheriting it later, this could be perfect for them. It could have been perfect for me. The key is not waiting too long and let their policy lapse for lack of payment. The sooner you explore this option, the better. The better. Now, over the next few episodes, what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk you through exactly how this works. I'll show you how to determine if your parents' policy might qualify, what the process actually looks like, and I share more real family stories with you. Listen, but in tomorrow's episode, I need to tell you about something that honestly just breaks my heart. It's about families who call and say, I wish we had known about this 6 months ago, or we already let the policy lapse. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you something. I'm going to share the story of the Martinez family who missed out on $52,000 because they waited just 4 months too long to explore their options. It's going to show you exactly why timing matters and what you need to do right now to protect your family's options. Now, if your parents are struggling with life insurance payments, please don't let them suffer in silence. Please don't. Subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell because each episode is going to give you more tools to help your family navigate this situation. And if you need to take action quickly, I got other videos on this channel that go deeper into the basis of life settlements. Too many people really don't know what they are. Check those out while you're waiting for the next episode. And until the next time. But remember, your parents don't have to choose between financial security and quality of life. There is a fourth option, and guess what? Now you know about it. I'll see you in the next episode. This is 𝐂𝐚𝐧'𝐭 with Legacy Life 101.